tits, bitch.
Hello, Fiends and Fiendettes. Welcome to the movie review portion of episode 93 of the Best Horror Podcast on 7voltmedia.com. Scream Fiends. I am your host, Xander, and with me, as always, is Russ.
Yeah.
This episode's movie of the week is 2017's Mom and Dad.
Can I go to a movie with Riley tonight?
Right. Your grandparents are coming for dinner tonight, remember?
Awesome. And Grandpa telling his disgusting Vietnam stories.
Take my advice, don't ever have kids. I'm saying that maybe there needs to be a fucking grown-up zone and a fucking kid zone!
What's going on? Dude, check it out.
Multiple reports are now coming in of similar attacks across the country, of parents attacking, murdering their own children.
This thing is fucked up.
We have to get out of the house.
They're in the basement. Your motherfucking mother should open the door!
Shit. I forgot. Your parents.
That was tonight. I'm going to kill you.
This movie is starring Nicolas Cage as Brent Ryan, Selma Blair as Kendall, Ann Winters as Carly, Zachary Arthur as Josh, and Lance Henriksen as Mel. And together they make up the Ryan family. It was written and directed by Brian Taylor.
You might recognize that name.
Yeah, if you've ever seen that Gerard Butler vehicle Gamer, or that Jason Statham vehicle Crank,
Vehicle.
or its sequel Crank 2.
Crank it up.
Crank it up.
Is that what it's called? Is that the subtitle?
I hope so.
Look that up. Goodness.
Yeah, so it got me thinking. We're finally doing a Nicolas Cage movie, and I wanted to talk about just before we start.
Oh,
What-
what fucking bullshit. Crank 2 is called High Voltage.
Oh, they missed opportunity there. Crank it up. It'll always forever in my heart be known as Crank It Up. Crank 2. Crank it the fuck up. What is your earliest memories of Nicolas Cage?
Face Off,
Face Off?
I think. Face Off.
See, my answer would be Raising Arizona.
No, not Face Off. What's the one? The Rock. I remember The Rock a lot.
Yes.
I think that might be my earliest memory would be The Rock, but I probably have seen him before that. I just can't place it.
See, what about Raising Arizona?
See, that might be it, but I've seen that recently, and I can't remember the first time I've seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember.
That I mean, when I was a kid, I loved Raising Arizona. I'd
That's a good
watch it
movie.
all the time.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, just
That's a great movie.
I feel like we got to live through Nicolas Cage's like
Peak.
when he was just top of his game, and then we've seen his kind of downfall. I don't know if you would consider it really a downfall.
Yeah, because I don't know, like, because like he hasn't done a lot of good things lately.
I mean, National Treasure movies make a ton of
But
money.
I
but
like those. I didn't mind those.
so do
movies.
I.
I thought they were fun.
I don't know when the last National Treasure movie was out. It's probably been a few years at least.
Yeah, it might be a decade.
But then those Bible movies, the Code movie, or is that Tom Hanks?
Those are Tom Hanks. You're talking about the Da Vinci Code and stuff?
Yeah.
Those are Tom Hanks.
But wasn't Nicolas Cage in that like Left Behind movie, and that's based on like that crazy Bible stuff,
I don't know.
like a Bible series.
I have no idea. But he's done some like really like art housey shit. He's done action movies. He's done everything.
Kick-Ass, him in Kick-Ass was amazing. Like his character in Kick-Ass.
Sure.
Oh, he almost honestly makes that movie. Him and Chloe Grace Moretz, like,
Yeah.
that.
I've never seen it, but
You've never seen Kick-Ass?
No.
Fuck.
I thought it was a kids movie. I'm finding out that it wasn't.
You need to see Kick-Ass.
But he was in a movie you should see because you're a Lynch fan. You need to see Wild at Heart. It's Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern.
Oh.
And it's I've heard it. It's been described. I could see it.
Yeah.
It's been described as like David Lynch's take on The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
It's fucking awesome.
That sounds crazy. Is it like horror related at all?
I don't care. I'll watch it if you want to do an episode on it. I there's some kind of creepy bits, but I wouldn't consider it horror related.
Okay.
It's not much of a thriller. I wouldn't,
Sure.
but I don't know how I describe it. It's crazy. It's really fun though. It's a lot of fun. And the one that I would watch that I would say more would pertain to us would be probably Blue Velvet, but
Sure.
that's also got Laura Dern. But yeah, but Wild at Heart is fucking phenomenal. I might own that. So
Well, yeah, maybe at least borrow it to me.
for sure,
Yeah. If I can't find it on the services.
for sure.
Okay, let's get into it.
Well, yeah. So I'm really interested to see how you don't make this, how you can possibly make this review, this recap longer than 5 minutes.
We shall see. So it starts out with static. Like you hear the static, and then it's kind of flickering on the screen, like you would get static on a TV or whatever. And then it cuts to a woman in a car, and she turns it off on her car radio, the static. And then you kind of see in the back seat there's a what do
Child.
they call those?
Car seats.
Car seats. See a car seat back. And then she gets out of the car, and you soon learn that she has parked her car in the middle of a train track. With the gates are coming down, clearly a car is coming.
Well, a train's coming.
Did I say car? Clearly a train is coming. And don't mind the Ebony.
What's she
She's
eating?
fine.
What did she eat?
She's fine.
Boy.
And she's walking away, and everyone is like, "Hey, lady." But nope, a train comes and
Kersplunch.
Kersplunch. And then we get to
The Ryan family, right?
first we meet Carly, the daughter, and she's on the phone with her boyfriend Damon, who's riding his bike to school.
Yep.
They're having a bit of sexy talk. I think that's what it is, right?
Well, yeah, but she's all like, "Yeah, I got boobs," and he's like, "But I gotta take a test," and he's like, "But come to a movie with me." He goes, "Okay."
That's a summation, proper summation, and then we get to breakfast with the whole clan. You got Brent the dad,
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
he's messing around with Josh, the little boy.
Yeah, they're playing.
The news is on about the crazy lady leaving her kid. The kid is dead.
Yep.
And they're kind of joking. Nicolas Cage takes like a toy truck, and Josh has the little person, and they kind of crash them together. And then Nicolas Cage sprays ketchup on the thing, and
They're like, that's creepy.
Selma Blair is not too keen on that.
No, she thought it was sick.
She's kind of uptight, the uptight mom.
Yeah. But if you know Selma Blair from everything else she's ever been in.
The only thing I remember Selma Blair from is Cruel Intentions.
And Hellboy.
Oh, yeah.
And that a Dirty Rotten Job or something like that.
I don't know.
That one with where the guy from Jackass, Johnny Knoxville, plays like a demon or something that makes everybody horny.
What?
You ever seen that one?
No.
Can't remember what the movie's called.
What the fuck?
She's got a boob job in it that's like this.
Oh, yeah?
Selma Blair.
Cruel Intentions is such an amazing movie.
Is it?
It is.
I don't remember. I just remember
It
that
really
song.
is.
It's a
Cruel
bittersweet.
intentions are made of these.
That's not how that goes. Was the Marilyn Manson version of that song in that movie?
Probably. It was about that time.
Yeah, 98, 97.
Yeah.
I just remember that Verve song, Bittersweet Symphony.
Oh, yeah.
That was in it.
Uh-huh. You ever see Wicker Park?
No, but is it got like
Josh Hartnett?
yeah. No, I was thinking the
And that
faculty for a
shit,
second.
that actress that's in O and Save the Last Dance?
And that one, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes.
Freak Out. What's her name?
I can't remember.
Oh, what's her name? It's gonna drive me cuckoo bananas.
So then we get to Mom and Carly driving to school together.
Yep.
And
Carly's got an attitude problem,
yeah,
and Selma Blair's like, "Hey, I was in Cool Intentions. You need to chill out, bitch."
this is our only time together.
Yeah. And she's like, "Whatever." And she's like, "I don't like it when you say that." And she's like, "Whatever." And then she shows up at the school.
She's on her phone, and it does that thing where like the phone screen kind of pops up on like interpose. What's that word?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like transposed onto the screen.
Yeah.
And she's like flipping through Facebook and sending messages.
And she's like, "Did you get off Facebook?" And you see she's talking to somebody about, "Hey, did you get that money?"
Mm-hmm.
And she did get the money.
Yep. Because she stole the money out of Mom's purse.
Oh, naughty.
Well,
And then it goes to Josh crawling around on the floor being sneaky.
and the music is all creepy crawly.
Yeah. Oh.
And then you see Dad come along.
And then it gets like violent and scary, but he's actually just tickling him.
Tickle monster.
And he goes, "Have you had enough?" Blah, blah, blah. And then Nicolas Cage says something to the lady cooking the food. And she goes, "I'll have your dinner in the
yeah,
fridge."
they have like a housekeeper who's
Yeah.
Chinese.
And so is her daughter.
And yeah, for some reason the daughter is also there.
Yep. And she says, "Your dinner will be in the fridge." And he says, "Fuck you." At least that's what we could think he said under his breath, kind of.
Yeah.
And then his son throws a ball at him. And he turns around like he's pissed.
Yep.
And then he smiles and said, 10 years old isn't a guarantee for you.
Yep. Yep.
And then the kid goes outside and finds a dead bird.
Mhm.
Or a dying bird.
And then we get a flashback of young Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah, because Nicolas Cage is getting into his car.
Yeah.
And he's like pissy because he looks down the street and sees all the houses look the same. He looks at himself in the car and he's disappointed. Then he gets in his car and has a flashback of him flying around in a
Doing
79
donuts. Yeah.
Firebird and with some naked lady on him.
Yep. Like his head is
Between
titty
her
fucking hurt.
Yeah, while he's doing donuts in the parking lot.
Yep. Then we get the Josh finds. It's not really clear what it is, but he finds something like out in the yard.
Boulevard.
Is like the alley.
It's like a boulevard.
What's
So
a boulevard?
It's that stretch of grass between your yard and the sidewalk, or after. So you got the sidewalk, right? Your yard, the sidewalk, and then that strip of grass before the street.
Oh, sure.
That's a boulevard.
Oh, okay.
And that's where he finds this dead Aminal or dying Aminal. So he puts it in a box, hides it in his dad's 79 Camaro or 79
in the garage.
Yep, and then tries to feed it Fruit Loops.
Which doesn't seem to turn out very well because then he goes back
And it dies. And it smells.
there's flies swarming around.
And then Nicolas Cage loses his shit and Josh hides. And then you hear screaming and you see like a stabbing motion. Then it cuts away. You don't know what happened. So you figure, oh, did he kill Josh?
Then we get Selma Blair. Kendall is at like a dance class with her friend. Can't remember the friend's name.
Who cares?
And they're shaking their butts.
It's like a stripper yoga class or something.
Yeah, like a strip dance class,
And then
workout strip.
And they're talking about how they used to be hot. And then she's like, "You're still hot, Selma Blair." And she's like, "Whatever, I'm not hot anymore." And then she's like, "I want that instructor to fuck my brains out." And Selma Blair is like, "Blah blah blah," and then they leave. Oh no! Then they find out my money's gone. Oh, my daughter steals my money all the time. Blah blah blah. And then Selma Blair's like, "Can't."
I don't know about your little angels, but
my little angel steals my monies.
Yep.
And then it goes back to the school.
Yeah, and it's kind of interspersed. Damon is in class taking a test.
Yep.
And
He breaks his pencil.
Yep.
Goes to get a new pencil.
And he looks out the window.
And there's a bunch of parents waiting outside. And
Yeah.
the teacher's like, "Man, they're really anxious to see their kids' test scores or something."
Yep. And then it goes to the class with Carly
And her friend.
Yep.
And they're text messaging, and the teacher nabs the phone as he's talking about planned obsolescence and blah, 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 blah. Then he nails her phone. And then he gets a phone call, and then all of a sudden, students keep getting called to go out into the office.
Yeah, and then you see a police car pull up.
And Carly's like, "What's going on?"
And then all of a sudden, the fire alarm goes off. And so all the kids have to run outside.
And they see their parents, like, clamoring at the gate.
Oh, you know what we missed? We missed why Carly stole that money because...
To get drugs.
Yes, they bought some
drugs.
Probably ecstasy.
They're going to smoke some drugs.
Looked like... Yep, smoking dick drugs. And...
Hey, kid, you want to smoke some drugs?
Yes.
Remember that commercial? Hey, kid, you want to smoke some drugs? And it's like a fake baseball announcer telling him how then he slides to first. I love it. And
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
dodges that guy.
Mm.
But the kid said, "You want to smoke some drugs?" That's what he said. I just always thought
Wonderful.
I always thought that was a funny way to say that. You want to smoke some drugs? As opposed to what?
I don't know.
I prefer suppositories.
So they... so they go outside, and the parents are, like, going crazy.
Yeah.
They're, like, reaching, like, calling their kids over, like, come on.
But everybody's holding them back.
Yeah, the cops are there, and we find out that someone called in a bomb scare.
But there isn't no bombs.
No.
So one of the boys says, "I want my mommy," and then goes to jump over the fence. Gets over the fence, but they're fighting him back, trying to get the kid back over, but the kid makes it over. Only to be stabbed to death with the keys of the van his mother was picking him up with.
Yes.
And then parents start coming over the fence and chasing their kids around.
Then it's pure mayhem.
Yep.
Chasing them across the football field, tackling.
Stabbing.
One parent takes like a plastic bag and puts it over their kid's head.
But now here's what we find out, though, is that these parents are only interested in killing their own children.
Yes, they completely ignore any other kid that's not theirs.
Yep.
It seemed like sometimes they would inflict violence if someone got in their way.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
But this prompts Carly and her friend to go to Carly's mommy's house because Carly's friends drove to school that day. And then they go to Carly's mommy's house and talk and giggle and, you know, they're talking about having some funs. And Carly's friend goes upstairs and finds her mom. "What happened, Mom? I spilled my drink." And then Carly's watching the TV, and it's about how parents are killing each other. They're killing their kids. And then she's like, "Carly, my friend, Carly, where are you?" And she goes upstairs, and she's getting like choked out with like a phone cord or something.
Yeah, it's either that or like some kind of belt.
Yeah.
Getting strangled, yes.
Anyways, Carly's mom's friend says, "Hey, kiddo."
Like nothing is wrong.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Damon, Carly's boyfriend, goes home, finds his dad passed out on the couch. He's an alcoholic. So Damon takes the beer can. Then he sees that the dad had like knocked over
his papers and stuff.
Well, it looked like a phone book that got all wet.
Like a phone book or a textbook, but it looked like there was like a writing on pages too. So maybe like his homework. He's like, "Come on, Dad."
Oh, Dad.
And then he goes out and he's like, "Dad's gone." And then he finds his dad behind him, and then his dad starts beating him up.
Whacks him in the face, and he's like, "Dad, not again.
And then
It's me, Damon."
But and then he breaks a bottle and cuts him with it, and then when he goes to go after Damon again, Damon pushes the table away, but then the table breaks and he falls over on his own shiv and dies.
Right through his neck, through his chin.
Yep.
It's like, "Oh no, Dad, no."
Sorry, Damon.
No.
But
Too late. Dad's dead.
so then Damon is looking for Carly, and then
Oh, there's that part where Kendall is kind of
anticipating a phone call from her sister for one.
Well, for one, but then she's like kind of feeling bad about herself. Like, what have I done in my life? Like, why did I have these kids? Like, I'm so unhappy. And then she has a flashback of her, like, going to ask for her old job back. Not sure what it was, what she was doing.
And the guy's like, "You have 2 kids. You're not hot anymore."
Go take a class.
And she's
Something
like, "What?"
fun.
And some, new hot secretary is like, "Let's go for a walk and fuck me," or something, but I don't remember. But it was stupid. And so...
so then she gets all bummed about
she
having
cries.
that memory. And
and then she catches wind of all the shit's going on. So she's heading to the school.
But then she gets
she's
the
heading
call.
home. Yes, that's right. She gets the phone call first that her sister's having the baby.
The baby.
So she goes to her sister to have the baby. And she has the baby and things are going well. But then the monitor starts to static. So then we find out, static triggers this effect where parents try to kill their kids.
Yep.
So her sister tries to crush this newborn baby and they fight it off of her. But then the police take the baby away and she cries.
They cut the umbilical cord. And this is one cool thing about this scene is that the sister gets up and tries to go after the baby because Selma Blair
Who's trying to
took
save
the baby.
Yeah.
And the umbilical cord is still dangling down.
Yeah.
Like the placenta hasn't been birthed out yet. So that's a nice touch.
But
Nice little detail.
And
And then you see in the hospital, like the maternity ward where they keep all the babies.
all the dads are like, "I'm going to eat you.
I'm so hungry for the
I'm
babies.
going to eat that baby." But then she's crying and goes home.
Yep.
So, okay, so at this point, she finds her boyfriend. Carly finds her boyfriend.
Yep.
They go back to her house. She goes upstairs and finds her brother. Oh, they
run
figured
into
out,
the housekeeper first.
and they figured out that she killed her daughter. And,
Yep, the housekeeper's just mopping away.
and she
like-
just says, "Go home, okay."
Yeah, then they look over, or she lifts the mop up and it's all soaked in blood.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yep, you killed your kid.
So
Get the fuck out of here."
So Damon waits downstairs. Carly goes upstairs, finds her brother, and she's scared. And then Nicolas Cage comes home, is mad that the boy's there, smashes him. And then Josh is like, "I want Dad." And so they go downstairs, and they're trying to sneak downstairs, but he catches them.
Yep, and then they end up running down into the basement.
Yep. And
Worst decision you can make.
Yep. So they get stuck down there.
Then we get the mom.
Well, no, he how does Nicolas Cage fall down again? He trips.
Oh, he
and
slips
falls.
on the toy truck.
Yeah, and then he gets knocked out for a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's next to Damon. They're both knocked out.
Yep.
And the mom gets home.
Well, we get the mom coming home, and while she's driving, she's passing a woman rollerblading with a stroller, and then right as Kendall is passing, the mom pushes the stroller in front of the car.
But misses.
Yep, Kendall misses.
So then she gets home. She finds Nicolas Cage on the floor. And I was thinking the whole time that maybe the mother isn't affected by this somehow.
Yeah, because
So-
she wasn't acting crazy at this point,
until this point, really.
and yeah,
And then Nicolas Cage's like, they're in the basement. Then they have this idea to get the Sawzall,
Sawzall,
because it's Sawzall.
yeah,
And so they try that.
Sawzall,
And
Sawzall.
so it's whatever. And then he goes, oh, I have something for him. And he goes upstairs and he pulls the case out and he gets his gun. Oh, but gun's not in there.
Yep.
Then you hear
gun
wham wham, and Josh shot his mom through the door.
Yes.
And so
We get a little flashback of because the dad set the combination as Josh's birthday.
yeah, and they have
So of
this
course
guy-
Josh.
So she's like
figures it out.
nagging him as they're trying to figure out a way to kill her kids.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of funny, but then so Josh has this gun. So Selma Blair gets the idea to gas him out of there,
Mm.
and so the daughter figures this out. It sets up a little booby trap so that when they do finally get the door open,
Well, this obviously would not work in real life, but they take a garden hose and duct tape it to where the oven input would be,
yeah, for a gas stove, gas range.
gas range, and then they take the garden hose, run it outside, and then she sticks it through the window of the basement, and then duct tapes it through the hole, and then buries the window in dirt. And then duct tapes all the holes in the basement door that they had sawzalled through.
Well, the bullet holes came through when he shot through the door.
That, and she had sawed through it as well.
Sure.
So yeah, then they just sit and wait for them to get gassed out.
We'll hear him coughing. So
Yeah, they get all excited. They're like, we're gonna hear them puking and coughing and
so we missed the part where we were getting there, but so the daughter sets up this booby trap so that when he opens the door, it'll cause an explosion from the gas.
yeah, she like taped a book of matches.
No,
to-
she doesn't take a book of matches. She
It's a
takes
box of matches.
box of matches, cuts off the one side that does for the striking, tapes it to the floor by the door so that when the door opens, then she tapes matches to that so when the door
Sticking
opens,
down.
it'll hit the thing and it'll cause a couple.
Boom.
But before that, though, there's a scene where they see a broken pool table downstairs, and they have this
Oh
big.
yeah, when they first go down to the
Yeah.
basement.
So there's this big flashback where Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair get in a fight about him buying a pool table, and then he just smashes it to pieces. This is 3 weeks earlier from this, and
Yeah, because Nicolas Cage is obviously going through a midlife
Midlife
crisis, and
So
Selma
Selma.
Blair goes down there and is like, "You don't even like playing pool,"
yeah,
and
and he kind of goes kooky bananas.
well, because he
balancing.
can't get the pool table level, like it's
Yeah.
always the ball is always rolling.
I know. Maybe if that Misfits T-shirt fit him right, it wouldn't have been so bad.
So they have the fight, and then he sees the ball start to roll, and he's like, basically loses it and smashes the pool table to bits.
Yep, and then they make up or whatever, blah, blah. Then it goes back to that. So they manage to sneak up through the rafters into the attic to get out. And they hear him coughing, so they start sawing the door open again. And he opens the door and explodes and sends them flying.
Yeah, pretty cool, like slow motion blast.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage gets blasted back
It almost took his face off.
off. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to tell the connection between Crank and this movie. There's a lot of like fast cutting, fast editing, like
Shaky cam.
yep, and the music is kind of like got this 80s sort of
It's by some DJs, something or other. He does this stuff.
yeah.
But, Selma Blair hears them drop from the ceiling, but Josh stays up there for now. And then, so Selma Blair goes up there, and they kind of attack each other around. You know, they're kind of wrestling around the upstairs. But then Damon comes up.
Mom grabs a tenderizer.
Yes, she does.
Yep, and Damon finally wakes up.
Yep, and then they push her into a closet with a bunch of hangers. And they start making jokes about, and then Josh comes on at this point too, but they make jokes about how I always thought that my parents getting a divorce was the worst thing in my life, but it actually just doubled my survival,
Yeah.
you know, but they were laughing about that, but then she managed to get a hand through the thing she undid a wire hanger, and she stabs him through the mouth.
Fish hooks
Yeah.
right through his cheek.
And he gets it out of there, but then she whacks him with a hammer and he falls downstairs.
I thought something happened before he falls over the railing.
I can't
Oh.
remember. But then
Maybe
she-
it was just the fish hook, and then he gets knocked over, and then he falls over the railing.
hits like a chair.
Yeah,
And then then
Damon
she-
is not having a good time. I think that actually it killed him, right? That was it for
I
Damon.
think so.
Yeah.
But then it ends up they end up cornering the kids, and they're about to finish them off, and they're like, "We're sorry for this, we're sorry for that. Please don't hurt us." Then they hear ding dong, because what we forgot to mention is that that Nicolas Cage's parents is coming in, or is it her parents? I don't care. One of their parents is it's his parents. His parents
Yes.
are coming
Yes.
to visit.
Mm.
I'm like, oh shit, his parents are going to try to kill him, and that's exactly what happens.
Yep, it's Lance Henriksen.
And he-
Finally,
Yeah.
Lance Henriksen shows up.
And he stabs Nicolas Cage a few times, and they end up fighting around. And you get this like cat and mouse thing where like each generation is trying to kill each other, except for the kids are just running their lives.
and Kendall is like going to the grandma, being like, "You don't want to kill your son. Like he's your son. You don't want to kill him."
And she's like, "You were always never good enough for my son. You're a stupid little whore." And Kendall's not even a real name.
Yeah, Kendall's not a real name.
Then they attack each other.
So it's this weird dynamic where they have the cognizance to realize that what
Well,
his
even the
parents are
grandpa's-
doing
Like
is
the grandpa's
wrong.
excited to see Josh. Like, hey, my little piss and vinegar.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
So like they have that coherence to understand that what the other people are doing is wrong, but they don't see what they're doing as wrong.
Well, like there's that one newscast where the one guy's like, "This is terrible, but it was right for me."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Remember the one guy that guy was in The Rock. Actually,
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure that guy was in the movie The Rock. So him
Oh.
and Nicolas Cage got to be in a movie together again.
That's cool.
He was one of the soldiers that fought with Ed Harris.
Yeah. Oh. The Balls.
Yeah, the little green balls.
Yep. Oh, that's such a good movie.
That movie wasn't
So
that Michael
good.
Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually Michael
Sean
Bay.
Connery. Mm.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Quiet,
Yeah, the guy's giving the interview and he's all like, "I'm trying to come up with crocodile tears, but I just can't." It was so great. But then he's like, "Yeah, it was terrible."
But not for me.
Yep.
Yeah, and so
Oh,
Josh
that-
Josh starts running, and so Josh is running from Nicolas Cage, who is running from Lance Henriksen, but
Mhm.
he's also chasing Josh, and Lance Henriksen is chasing Nicolas Cage. They get back to the car
in the garage.
and they have a flashback where Nicolas Cage is like, "I used to be bad too, so we'll let you go this time." So he's like forgiving his son for doing
Mhm.
whatever he did to the car.
Yeah.
But he goes, "If you ever touch that car again, I'll fucking kill you." And, but then he smashes the car with a pickaxe. But then the kid turns the car on, runs, almost gets pinned between the car and the garage door. Then they're like driving back and forth. It's kind of like that Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 7 scene.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they go back and forth, and then Nicolas Cage like explodes out of the garage. Carly gets whacked by her mom, but then like
The grandma. Kendall. I keep on having to look at Kendall.
yeah.
Remember, because it's not a real name. Kendall and the grandma are fighting at the same time, and they stumble out into the front yard, and the grandma ends up
Getting hit by the car.
stumbling as the car is coming,
Yep.
and then they hit another car as they exit the driveway,
And the grandfather like slingshots and smashes them
flies
in
through the windshield and smashes his face literally like
Explodes.
smashes on the front of the car.
It's okay. He's a toaster.
And then Damon is not dead because he comes up as
as Carly's going to like whack her daughter for the final time.
yep,
And but then he actually just comes
takes
out of
a
the blue, just
shovel
whacks with a shovel.
right in the face.
Then the last scene is the kids at one pole in the basement, and the parents tied to the other pole.
Mm.
And we're like, we don't want to hurt you, but we can't trust you though. And they kind of give the parents the whole "we can't trust you" speech that they would have gotten. And then Nicolas Cage says, "We love you, but sometimes."
We just want to.
And then it goes to Mom and Dad. And that was the whole movie.
That's the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's over.
Well, first of all, I don't like the way it ends.
Nope.
It's just kind of over, which I guess, this entire movie, nothing is ever explained. It just kind of all happens. You get like the news stories of it happening, but they're never like doctors. Well, I guess you do get the little bit of where they're talking about like,
Savaging.
pigs do it.
Yeah, it's
Pigs
called
do it.
savaging, or like the pigs, like in a big community of pigs, the mothers will sometimes just kill their young.
Yeah.
So they're-
But then there's that whole plot with like the static, and what is going on with the static? Is this
maybe there's like some intricate clues we missed.
maybe if you're watching this or listening,
But
let us know if we missed anything
It seemed
that
like
could clue us in.
yeah, it just kind of seemed like a movie that just happens to happen. And it's supposed to be a comedy with this.
Yeah, it's kind of like
whole
a
idea where, like-
fun.
Like parents going through midlife crisis and throwing their lives away for their kids, just killing their kids instead, kind of thing.
Yep.
It just there was so little actually happened. It just didn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, like it has a really funny like premise, like you were
Yeah.
saying, like it's the parents and killing their kids.
Yeah, none of the acting was bad. Actually, when Nicolas Cage would do his crazy bits, was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
It
being
wasn't
a
over the
comedy,
top. It was.
It was funny.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, so it had its moments, but
Mm.
otherwise, it kind of felt like nothing. It felt like I watched just random thing of just shit. Nothing actually happens.
Yeah, a movie that's pretty similar now that I think about it, especially the ending. Well, not really the ending, but you'll know what I'm talking about. The Babysitter.
Yeah.
But that movie is so much better than this one.
For being a kind of comedic,
Yeah,
dark comedy
where
horror.
nothing really happens, but
I don't want to be known as a chick with a flat tit or whatever. I got shot in the boob.
oh, I love that movie. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How that movie
Or even the
kind of
movie
does the same thing,
with the
but
same
it's
girl. What's the movie? The same girl in Glenn?
Mayhem.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing where
Yep.
it's kind of a dark comedy thing.
Mm.
This movie just doesn't seem to have enough sustenance in it.
Substance.
Substance.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it needs food bad. But
It really tries with the whole like flashbacks, gives context, gives meaning to
meaningless shit though, because it doesn't explain why these parents are trying to kill them. It's the
right.
screen text. Are they all sleeper cell units?
You could argue the point where it's like, well, maybe kids today are all just really shitty, but then, as Nicolas Cage himself pointed out in that flashback, he was a shitty kid when he was younger too.
Yep.
But that also explains, well, his parents are trying to kill him. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it's
Kids
trying to
are
say
shit.
is kids are shitty to their parents. And that's the message.
'cause,
maybe
like-
that's the message of the movie.
Maybe. Because remember, Carlos, it's not my problem. It's not my fault you don't have a life. But it's like, actually, it is your fault
Yeah.
that I don't have a life. Because you're my life. And, not like I said, like, I hope my kids never think I'm but it's inevitable.
That actually, I think it makes me like the movie a little bit more thinking that. Where it's like, that's the message. Kids are shitty to their parents, and parents just have to deal with it.
Until they go crazy.
And try to kill their kids. Yep.
Rank it. You want me to go first this time? I think you went first for the other one.
No, I haven't gone first.
Lay it on me. What do you got?
Yeah. I'm gonna go silver. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's fun. It's just not. It's easily one of those movies that you can just throw on while you're doing something else, just to have like on in the background, something fun you kind of can glance over at every once in a while.
And for that exact reason, I would also give it a silver. Just kidding, I'd give it a bronze for that reason. And almost not ranking, but I would rather watch it than everything, The Witch and all this and that. Only because it is such a throwaway.
But I also think that
I mean, if you want, like you say, it's shot well, sound quality, blah blah blah, all that
Yeah.
stuff is fine. So it's good that way. So I would rank it, at least give it a bronze, but it feels kind of a throwaway to me.
That's true. I'm
We're-
lowering my rank to bronze.
It's twice now. I got yeah.
But I do think the director, well, and it would be the writer too. Brian Taylor, he wrote and directed it. But I do think he was trying to convey something. It's just the message isn't totally clear and doesn't really resonate with me as an audience.
And same here, even with having kids.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't have teenagers, so I don't know. Maybe if I had teenagers, I could relate. But my kids are still relatively good, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say it's fine if a movie doesn't explain itself. But it's kind of annoying at the same time.
If it doesn't explain itself, but also doesn't give you any clues as to what is going on, so you can't figure it out yourself, then it's kind of like, well, you just gave me a bunch of accept this kind of shit, and this is what it is kind of shit. It's kind of like, well, what the fuck?
And I mean, it is. That is also a completely valid way to make a movie.
Like I said, I'd still give it a bronze.
It's just on a
fun,
personal critique of mine. Like, I don't like that. Like,
I prefer to have a little insight.
give me a little bit of something to bite into, rather than there's this static, but there's absolutely no explanation. You're gonna provide this clue of static, but then that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a little minor gripe, but.
But yeah, because
whatever.
I mean, in the newscast it says, well, maybe a terrorist did some
Yeah.
neurological thing.
They insinuate different things, so I guess
so you could take
it leaves it to your own conclusion, but
in the end, it's inconsequential
yeah,
because there's no resolution at the end.
yeah. And the way the movie ends, I also don't like that shit.
Well, there's no resolution. Nothing
Yeah,
happens.
right.
You don't know if the parents let go and they get better, or if the kids end up having to kill him, or if whatever. You never learn what happens. So it's just, there's no conclusion really.
Right.
So it doesn't even matter what's true or not true with the newscast because you don't have a clue.
Yeah, and it makes me feel like, well, what was the point of even watching this movie?
Yeah.
There's no third act. Well, I guess technically there is, but there's no
Closing
epilogue.
Yeah,
There's no conclusion.
Yeah. So that was all for. So all you know at the end is that parents wanted to kill kids, and
Yep.
for some reason, Static makes them want to do that.
Yep. Maybe in Mom and Dad 2, crank it up. We'll find out the answers. All right.
Just give me a seizure.
Let us know on Twitter at ScreenFiends what you thought of Mom and Dad if you have seen it. And if you haven't seen it and you made it all the way through, well, let us know what our synopsis of rundown. I'm going to start, that's what we do. We do rundowns of movies.
Or recaps.
Recaps, yeah.
Recaps. Rundowns. Synopses.
Subscribe on
Summaries.
iTunes.
Ooh,
Subscribe on
summaries.
Google Play. Find us on YouTube. Search that Screen Fiends on YouTube and subscribe. Patreon.com/ScreenFiends. You can donate to our lovely program if you would like, but you do not have to. All of our content will always be free of charge, but we would love your support, no matter how much or how little. 7voltmedia.com. That's where all of these content lives. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
From us at Screen Fiends, so long and farewell.
Bye. That fucking movie. This is a complete shit show of a day. That movie, nothing happens at the end of that
We
movie.
still ended up with 49 minutes.
Nothing happens in the movie.
No.
And then